As I zoom in into the island, I can actually see where I have missed cutting it out. I should have defringed it in Photoshop, but I didn't, and there was a reason for that, because I want to show you how you can do that in After Effects. So what if we grab this hand here, see this hand, grab it, bring it across, that moves our screen, right? So we can focus in certain areas, zoom in, zoom out, we can do what we like with this hand. So that's an important handy haha feature. Okay. So now what we need to do is select our island layer, and in the effects and presets we shall write refine matte and bring that in to the island. Now straight away you could actually see those edges being refined. Okay, so here we are without the matte, with the matte. Now we can continue this refinement if we wanted to. We could smooth it out. We can feather it. We can choke it, apparently. So, yes, but we won't. But let's just reset it for the moment to where it was, and that has now cleaned up some of those edges. It's a quick way of doing it. So now what we're going to do is pre-compose this composition. It becomes like a smart object in Photoshop, where you can go back into the composition and adjust certain things, and then the differences and adjustments show up in the pre-composed layer. It's quite a clever little thing. So I'll show you how to pre-compose, and the reason we're going to do that is because I want to add a waterfall running down here, and I want to track it again. So yeah, it's just something to show you, basically, as an example. So okay, so let's select all our layers here and right click, and down here it says pre-compose. So pre-compose, and we shall call this island comp. Okay, so now there it is here in our uncomposed state. But when we come back now to the bit that we were working on, you'll see it is one layer. Now that is a lot easier to work with, and remember, you can always go back and change the things that you don't like about it by clicking on the island comp, and then all the components of that comp are still there. So this is where I wanted to change the sky. So what we can do, we go into our island comp, click on project, click on clouds, right click, and it says here replace footage, and we want to replace that with a file. Now that file is here. So what's happened now, all the movements, the camera movements, the tracking, everything now has been relayed into this new made up sky that we have replaced. So you can see here, and it has come through into our pre-composed composition as well. Now that sky is quite dark. So what we can do, we go back into our comp and we can adjust that. So let's put here, let's try first with levels. And let's drag levels across into the clouds. These clouds I made, by the way, using After Effects. So yeah, so if we can just adjust it and play with it, maybe even a curves layer. Let's see how that goes. Curves. Hang on, put it in the clouds. Put it in the clouds. Let's brighten it up a touch. Add some green. It's too much. Add some blue. Okay, let's see how that one works out. So all these changes now, as we said, will now relate back to our pre-composed layer, which is here. Okay. I don't think I like this sky as much as I like the other one, but for the point and the sake of the tutorial, I just wanted to use this to demonstrate how simple it is to actually change footage and maintain all the parameters. Okay, so here we have now our semi-completed composition. So what we're going to do now is set the 3D tracker again to track the movement, because we want to put the waterfall in. 3D tracker. Oh, what's it called? Tracker. Here we go, 3D camera tracker. So it's going to do its thing. Probably take a few minutes. Yeah, and I'll come back once it's done. Well, that didn't take as long as what I had anticipated. Okay, so now here we have our points again. So I want the waterfall to come from about this point here, I'd say. So let's say here we want to create null and camera. So over here we have our waterfall. So let's drag that into the comp, and we're going to need to mask that out. So just roughly. You don't need to be really exact because we're going to feather the edges, so and probably even change the blending mode. All right, so here we have our waterfall. Want to move that entire layer to about there and just reduce it a little bit. Transform. I've unlocked the, see this, this bit here, this chain, constrains the proportions. So I've unlocked that because I actually just want to just fatten it a bit rather than scale it all round. So I think we need to feather this mask. So let's feather it. And let's change the blending mode to say overlay. No, that's not going to work. Soft light, no. What did I use earlier? Screen maybe. Could have been screen, yeah. So, and we can hide the mask. See this icon here, toggle mask and shape path visibility. That turns the masks on and off. And it's a good thing to have because they do detract sometimes, so you need to get them out of the way, but you still need the mask. So to you just toggle that switch on and off, and the mask disappears, but it's still here. So the next thing now is we need to convert this into a 3D layer. Right, because that way, remembering it, that attaches it to the null, and then it moves accordingly to the camera. So let's see now what this looks like. Let's just move this bounding box. Okay, so that's not too bad. So you can see how the entire scene is moving with the camera. So whoever has filmed this footage is, is coming away from a point of land, and they don't have a tripod, so they're obviously holding it by hand. So that's the effect that we want to achieve, and I think we've done that here. So that was. Let's have a look now at normal speed. So yeah, so that's pretty much the whole composition now. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's worked out. There was a lot of technical things. I mean, aesthetically, I think I'm still looking at that sky thinking I think I'd like to change that, but let's just keep it like this for the moment. But you know how to change it now. It's very simple. You just click on this footage. Hang on, let me just stop this. So you click on here and you say replace footage with file, and find wherever you have the file, and it will replace it automatically, maintaining all the existing parameters. So yeah, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this has been educational to some extent, and you've enjoyed it. Yeah, all right, well, I'll see you next time. Thank you.